episode of Candy Girl. I'm your host, Shelby.
And I'm your co-host, Emily.
And today we're talking to Ebony and Ivory. They're both dancers here in Austin. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi.
Sure.
I'm Ebony.
I'm Ivory. Plot twist.
For the meme, I'm here for it.
How did you guys meet each other?
Through a mutual friend, actually, about a little over a year ago now. Yeah. So it was just kind of through that. Yeah.
Were you guys dancers before you met each other, or did you become dancers later?
I was a dancer. She met after we met. Well, she started dancing after we met. Yeah, I was a delivery driver for a pizza place, you know, in my trap van. I couldn't do that at this pizza place. But at my first pizza job, I was giving away so many free pizzas and drinks, I just didn't care.
Do you prefer dancing to selling pizzas then?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the free pizzas was definitely like a good medium. Yes, but I mean, dancing, you don't really get discounts or free stuff. So that's a little downer, but I mean, better money, so. But you can technically do whatever you want. To an extent, yeah. To an extent. I'm like, so if you rather go back to pizza, just have it came. I'm like,
So when did each of you get involved in dancing? Like, what was the catalyst?
Okay. For me, it's literally been on my mind since I was 16 because I just used to watch videos of like my favorite strip club, which was the Pink Diamonds at the time, and I'll see how girls just made money over there and like, you know, the alleged success stories of Black China and Tyga, like people who just was basically in the like women who were in the strip club and they basically became successful from being a stripper. Like it was a gateway to better things. So that's kind of what like opened my mind. Like, damn, when I turn 18, I would love to be a dancer just because it's easier access to a better lifestyle in a sense. And I wanted to dance at that club so bad. So that was really my motivation. But because of my parents, I kind of had to put my brakes on that for a while just because I'm African and I grew up traditionally African. So stuff like that is considered a taboo with our culture. Like, my parents would practically disown me if they, like, really knew what was going on.
Is there any, like, real culture where, you know, parents would be like, oh, my God, I'm so proud of you for, like, becoming a dancer. Like, even if they're supportive, I feel like they're like, oh, that's cool. Like, I've never heard anybody, like, freak out. Like, oh, my God, I can't believe you're a dancer now. Like, just out of excitement.
Yeah. I don't know anybody like that. Nah, I mean, when I told my parents, they already knew how I was, so they're like, you know what? You gonna do what you gonna do. But
my mom listens to this podcast, and every time we like talk to a stripper, like something that, you know, she's not familiar with, she's always like, so do they ever tell their parents, or like, do they ever get worried that they'll see someone they know? And I'm like, no, I don't think so.
That was actually a huge worry for me when I first started dancing because, well, like I said, because of our community or whatever, I didn't want someone I knew to be able to get back to my dad and stuff like that. And, like, we have such a small, close-knit community that, like, if one person knows, everybody's going to know. So that was my biggest worry. But then I kind of looked at it as, if you're going to make me feel bad about being here, I'm going to make you feel bad about being here. You're here too.
Yeah, I feel like it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, that's terrible. I mean, how does your wife feel about you being here or, you know, whoever? So I just stopped caring.
So, sorry. I was just going to ask. So, Ebony, your parents do or don't know?
They still don't really know. Like, I leave it vague as to what I do. I just tell them I work in a club and I make money off of tips. Take it how you want it.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. They don't know. My brother knows. However, I just recently told him and he was like, I kind of figured. Because, like, the amount of money you be saying you're making, waitresses don't really make that much, you know? So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, like, he wasn't tripping about it, but, like, my dad, I don't know how he takes it so dramatic.
About the time.
He's so dramatic. Oh, yeah.
What about you, Ivory? What got you involved?
So, like I said prior, before me being a dancer, I was a delivery driver, and I ended up getting into a car accident on the job, and I wouldn't say my car was totaled, but literally after that accident, the next day, I got into another accident because, because it was, rainy. My car was just, it skid, and I guess it just wasn't, I don't know. It was probably from the accident yesterday if something was wrong with brakes. And so I was like, you know what? I can't do this no more. It's already the second day. I got into another accident. So I had to quit that job. And with me not having a car, I was like, damn, I kind of need to. I didn't say I need to do this. It was kind of my situation was kind of the same as hers, where it was always kind of in the back of my mind because I am a dancer outside from the strip club. So in a sense, I felt I'd be able to maneuver in that lifestyle. I don't know if that's the right way to. I'm not the best with
I know what you're saying. It would have been an easy transition to go from a dancer to a stripper. Yeah, that's cool. So, how long have you guys been doing this for?
If the coronavirus didn't just pop up, it would have been exactly a year.
And I'd say about 2, but I basically stopped dancing for 6 months one time, so I guess I'm still at a year and a half.
Why'd you stop dancing?
Well, I got fired twice.
Yikes. That'll do it.
I got fired from the first club that I worked at, and I literally, both of the times I got fired was for no reason, and the second time I got fired was for another dumb reason. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna chill out for a little bit, see what life brings me, hope for the best. And it was cool. I was able to survive. Surprisingly, I don't know how, but it was a nice break.
When you weren't dancing, did you miss it?
Oh yeah, all the time. I really miss just being on the pole and because when we get up there, it's really I consider it as a performance in a sense. This is my stage time. My makeup's good. My hair is good. I'm here to be Beyonce. To be honest, they're really putting on a performance on stage. That's all you. That's being on stage is basically giving people a preview of how you are, in a sense. So you got to give it your all or whatever, because you could just leave with nothing. So I did miss that aspect of dancing. And I just missed how easy the money is too. It can be hard, and there is some BS that you do have to deal with from time to time. But 80% of the time, I'm saying, for me, it's all good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people that I met. I enjoyed just the power that comes with being a dancer too. Being able to look someone in their face and be after they give you money, you're just you could give me more. And they'll literally give you more money. So I miss that.
I was going to say, do you feel like you developed a sense of confidence throughout your experience as a dancer?
For sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a fact. I know I used to be, I was kind of confident in a sense with my dance moves, but confident with myself and speaking out for myself, that was really hard for me. So definitely working in the club, you grow a thick skin and stand your ground in a sense. So that's definitely helped me with my personal confidence and all of that.
Yeah. So when you're a dancer and you just see how much people fawn over you, in a sense, you really do grow a thick skin when the rare few people say no. It's whatever, I'm too cute for you anyway, So honestly, you just gain a high level of confidence for being a dancer, because at the beginning of the day, you're presenting basically all of yourself to people who don't know you. But it depends, because some people show a different side of them or whatever at the strip club. But I am who I am, so I'm this is me, take it or leave it. And the most treasured thing about a person is their body. So if we can just be topless on stage or whatever in front of a bunch of people who don't know us. Who can tell you anything about who you are? That's just, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Bro, I want to go topless on stage. All I do is get drunk and flash bars sometimes.
I have videos of you doing that. It's the same thing, almost.
That happens a lot.
That's still bold. Prior to being a dancer, I couldn't even do that. Like, I did not have the amount of confidence that I have now, honestly.
Yeah, so the problem with when I flashed the bar was I was at engineering formal, so I probably should not have done that. It wasn't like a random bar.
Yeah, all of our classmates were there.
Damn. Yikes.
At least I have really nice tits. I remember it. That's the worst part.
No, it was good. I still have that video.
You got a video?
I asked Shelby to film it. I wasn't going to do it if I couldn't, prove it later.
So I know Emily always likes to ask the question, do you guys have any like crazy stories or anything super memorable that have happened to you while you were working?
Bro, did you just fucking steal my one consistent
Sorry,
question?
do you want to re-say it? I'll not say it.
No.
I'll edit it out.
Answer
You can
question.
say it.
No, Shelby, I'm trying to give you a hard time. This is podcast banter.
I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to create tension.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's what you want. Tension between hosts. But yeah, any interesting stories that you guys have from your working?
I've told one, but I do have another one that I can share with y'all. Because the other one's already on our YouTube channel, so I'm like, I kind of don't really want to repeat it. So I can tell y'all the other one that was like weird.
Sure.
Okay, I should go. I met this dude or whatever, and he was basically into financial domination. Like he likes women. He likes to give women money, and
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, no,
people should be into that.
It was. I know. I would love it. Oh my gosh! If all the men in the world were just like, here, take my money, we'd be in heaven. I think that's like the ultimate like female heaven, because what more could I want?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have to work.
I don't have to work. Somebody's just literally giving me money because they want to from the kindness of their heart. He was also telling me he was into like foot fetish and stuff like that too. So, and he was just like, is there anywhere we could go that I could like lick your feet? And I'm like, we could get a cabana, or what do you want to do? He's like, no, I'm not too crazy about it or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, so I was trying to find like a dark corner or whatever so we could go to. And in our club, there's not really much dark corners. So we was just kind of sitting opposite on like the back bar. And I put my foot on him and he was like licking my shoes. Like he literally licked both of my shoes clean from like top to bottom. Yeah, bro. He sucked the heel and everything.
Oh, he sucked the heel. It's not serious.
Oh yeah, it was getting crazy. he gave me money for it like the entire time as he sucked me. He just like handed me like dollar bill until his stack was gone. And he did the craziest thing to me, like he did that and people was looking and he really didn't give a fuck at all. But after that, he went to tip a girl on stage, and he did the exact same thing to her on stage. I was like, wow, you're bold. He sucked her heel on stage.
I'm not even gonna lie, that is such a fucking power move.
Oh, yeah. He's bold, because I don't know how many other dudes would do that. Like, people keep their fetishes in private, but I guess it's a part of his fetish to, like, just let people know, like, I really don't give a fuck. So.
And this is a reason why maybe you shouldn't kiss customers at the club. Just saying, because I see that happen a lot.
Oh yeah, girls love to kiss their customers. So I'm just like,
not judging. Do you? But it's about cleanliness.
To be honest, the customers probably love that shit, but that's not very socially distancing of them.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah. Well, now we have no club at all, so we're forced to social distance.
Nah, but we got a poll on the way.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do some live. Be like, hey, just come on. Tip us.
My something.
What do you do when somebody's licking your foot? Like, do you moan or do you just watch them do it? How are you supposed to react?
I felt so uncomfortable to where I was literally just looking around the whole time, like, who sees this? And people did see it. They were like stopping and just like, what? And I'm just like, my hands out. He's still putting the money in my hand, and I'm still looking around like, what's going on? And he actually wanted to like suck my feet and everything. Like he did, but I was just like, oh well, since you don't want to get a cabana, this is the most we can do out here. But I got his number and we kept in contact, and he was like, I like to be dominant and stuff like that. So whenever all of this is over, I would love some sessions with you or whatever. You know,
Oh, so this was really recently.
yeah.
Ooh, lit.
I told you about him.
No.
You were with his friend, remember?
I don't remember. You told me that, but I still can't
It was the dude with all the beard. You was with his friend, so I went over to him, and then y'all went to go get some dances, and I was talking to him. Like, literally, as soon as I sat down with him, he was like, oh, I like getting women money. It's so hot. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm staying.
Damn, I really don't remember that. If I saw a picture.
No, yeah, if you saw a picture of him, I'm sure you would know.
So, like, would you consider that one of the worst clients or one of the best clients? Because on one hand, he sucked on your heel and his breath was rank as fuck, but on the other hand, he does like to give you money.
He's a good client, because I'm definitely staying in contact with him, because I know I could get more out of him. And prior to this corona thing, like literally the next day after I had met him, he just started sending me money to my Cash App or whatever, and he was just like, he was doing it on a daily basis. And there was one day where he didn't, so I hit him up and I was like, hey, where's your daily deposit? And he was like, ooh, that's so high. He was sending me money because I called him out on this shit. So I'm like, I think he's a good client, because even now I'm still making money off of him. Like, he'll ask me for feed pics and stuff like that. So
Amazing.
It's nice. I feel like I could definitely develop more of a relationship with him and definitely get more from him in the long run. Because somebody who likes to give women money, why would you get rid of them? You know, you gotta keep him around.
That's true.
Ivory, do you have any interesting stories?
I've been like really trying to think on this. The only one that's really sticking in my head is the one that is what we mentioned at the club. I'm really trying to think. So I guess I could say this one. So I remember I was giving a dance to this one person, and I was looking next to me, and then there was this older man and this young girl that just kept like staring at me, and they were both smiling. And I'm like, okay, just keep dancing. I kind of like looked over at them for a second, and I think I gave him I smiled at him. I think I may have winked at him while I was giving a dance too, and I think that's what hooked him. And man, I'm glad I did that, because I had the waitress that came by, and she's like, hey, this man over here, like with the girl, they want you. It turns out that he was a slave. Like, he was the one who likes to be not really dominated financially, but just like dominated, like, tie him up, put him in a cage, 50 stories up, facing the window, even though he's scared of heights, like they like torturing him, but like all of that. And he paid good. Like, I was with him the whole night. I remember this was like a fight night. Everybody was having a terrible day. And then I was just fortunate to have him, and then like I still have him now. And I mean, I don't know, I guess it's interesting in a sense, but like for I want to say like 2 months straight, he was steady giving me so much money. I never even saw him outside the club yet. I didn't even video chat him, nothing. I would just be like, hey, can you give me this for this? Okay, I need help with this. I wouldn't directly ask him for it, but I kind of like imply it, be like, oh, like this is hard. I kind of need some help. He's like, oh, well, what do you need? How much? And then I tell him that he would give me like an extra on top of that. And I was like,
yeah, it's like what you wanted to pay for and then the money back.
Yeah, basically. And then like, so, no, I was, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you guys feel like men are more comfortable telling you about their sexual preferences or fetishes because you guys are sex workers?
Yeah, definitely.
Because they feel like, because it's easier for you to get what you want out of us versus like a normal person on the street. Because I feel like we're exposed to a lot more, and they know, like, being sex workers, a lot of people come to us with different things, so they're more free in a sense.
And speaking of my slave, the one I was just talking about, so he has me and then a couple other girls, and he has a whole wife, and his wife doesn't know any of his kinks at all. She doesn't know at all that he's very submissive. She doesn't know anything, and so it's like, yeah, no, it's definitely. And they've been together for like 35 years, and she has no clue that he's like, I want to be dominated like that, and he's
Like that. Yeah. I feel like I read that dudes like that, they have so much control in their real life that by being dominated, they're able to let go. As they have so much control and responsibilities, like he probably owns a business and stuff like that, so he's in charge of so many other people. So with him, I don't know, he has that feeling in him to where he just doesn't want control once in a while.
I can see that.
Able to let loose and just let somebody else tell him what to do.
And honestly, sexually is probably the best way for them, because what man doesn't get horny? Really. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, but does it ever involve sex though? Because
not at all.
Like he just wants to be dominated.
Yeah,
like,
no, he doesn't.
Dress, bitch him around.
Yeah, like,
bro, if they've been together this long, I bet she just wishes she could just, like, beat him up, put him in a cage and stuff. Like, I feel like that's what years of marriage does. That's just me, though.
I always find it strange how they don't tell their spouse. Because with me, I don't know, maybe it's also, like, that pleasure from the person you know who knows you not really knowing that side of you as well. Like, you're able to hide something from them. Someone you've been with for so long, you're still able to keep your little secret since you're in a marriage where you're not supposed to keep secrets. I don't know. I feel like there's a pleasure that comes with it as well of your spouse not knowing. Like, your kinks. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like if my husband told me we'll role play every once in a while, I'll beat his ass. I would gladly tie you up. What? Remember that time you didn't come home early? Smack. I don't know.
I love that. Good. Emily, do you have any questions?
Do you have any dance tips? Basically, I got bored during quarantine and I set up a poll in my apartment. So what better than to ask you guys, any dance tips?
I like the way that you grip the poll.
Don't be afraid of falling.
I'm so afraid of falling.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way to learn.
Once you lose that fear, you can do anything. Because that's the only way to learn. Like, as long as you're still holding on to the, oh my gosh, I'm going to fall, you're not going to do anything. You're going to be too scared. You have to cross that line.
And then literally, after you learn one dance, the rest of them just kind of become easier as they go, because you learn how to hold on to the pole. So it's like...
Yeah, so, like, how do you develop your grip? Because that's, like, the one thing, like, I constantly feel like I'm sliding.
You might need dry hands, which is liquid chalk.
I know you can get it at some, like, sex store or some, like, just dancer stores. They'll have them.
I have it on Amazon again.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh,
finally.
Good. Because they're cheaper on Amazon.
No, they raised the price. I feel like that's why they took it off, because Amazon was like lowballing them. So now it's the same price as like a sex store.
They somehow...
I know, it's bullshit. Because I saw it for like $15.99. I'm like, what the fuck? I might as well just go to the sex store.
Oh, at the sex store it's $20.
Oh, okay, so it's still cheaper on. Damn, their prices went up. It was not that high. I think it was $15 at the sex store.
I wonder if they have it on adameve.com, baby. Let's get that sponsorship in.
But I'm trying to think. Would you learn pole dancing with heels or without heels?
I have kind of been switching between both, and I think I want to learn it with heels.
I would say, honestly, it's, well, just because we've been doing it for so long in heels.
I don't know anything, so.
I don't know. I mean, when I started, I didn't know jack shit. Like, literally, I walked into the strip club, never been in one, and I never even wore any heels. Like, I literally went on stage in these, like, 6-inch heels. I never, like, worn heels in my life. So, I mean, it was definitely an experience, but, like, you very much, like, learn how to work through it. But, I don't know, with pole, I would say just with the heels, it makes it easier in a sense, because depending on the heels that you wear, it will help you grip to the pole as well, especially, like, if you get, like, latex ones, so that really helps. I would say while learning pole as well, don't wear any clothing that would cover the inside of your, like, elbow as well as your knees. Like,
yeah, when I do it, I dress like a hoe. Don't worry. Like, there's not a lot of clothes on.
That's the better way to do it. The less coverage, the better, because your skin's able to stick to the pole. And you want your skin to stick to the pole, because that's what's holding you there.
And if you do end up getting dry hands, put dry hands also right in the inner elbow and on the inner knee, because that also will help you stick to the pole better. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Purposely fall a couple good times just to get it over.
Okay.
Blows around too if you are scared about hurting yourself.
Yeah. Because I've fallen off the pole once. I didn't get hurt or nothing, and it wasn't even like a big deal. I was just practicing something on like the side stage when dudes were playing poker or whatever, and I lost my balance, so I like fell, but I landed. I was able to ease myself to where you saw that I fell, but like I didn't hurt myself. Just my ego. Okay.
Look, Emily, you're learning so much.
I'm learning so much. I'm going to be a great pole dancer. Hopefully.
You got this.
Post-pandemic, I'll come in and be like, hey, gal pals, can I tag along? Come to work.
I love that.
So speaking of the
I'll
pandemic...
I'll be like, sorry, I don't work here. I'm just here to have fun and dance. And everybody will be like, what the fuck?
Honestly, though, there's some girl customers that I've seen that will literally get on stage with the dancers and be on the pole. But don't let a man get on stage or they'll try to kick you out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But they're cool. They're lenient with women because, you know, it's basically like a titty bar. So they're like,
really?
Okay.
So Shelby and I could go to the, after the coronavirus, we could go to, like, I guess y'all's strip club and just randomly just titties out, jump on stage, and, like, no repercussions except social, right?
It would mostly have to be, like, towards the end of the night when there's not really a lot of customers. It'd be only, like, the last one.
Or in the very beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen it also midway through. Like,
really? I've seen that to be dead periods. I haven't seen anybody on the pole, like, in the midst of the club. Unless they know the managers, so the manager's just letting them do it, or they paid. I feel like
or they also just show
two options. Yeah, or maybe they're just flashing. But I don't see why they would just, because if that's the case, then anybody.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That would piss off more dancers than a little bit.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wouldn't they be mad?
Yeah, I don't think anybody can just do it. I know the only cases I know is if the girl used to dance there before, so they let her do it or whatever. Like, she knows the manager, or if somebody paid for her to be on stage, like, oh, it's her birthday or something. Like, let me get up there, it's her bachelorette party. I feel like those are the only cases, because, yeah, and then anybody would do it, and I feel like that's not okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not. But I still want to do it one day.
Hell yeah, I don't see why not.
So.
Oh yeah, fuck.
That's what you already know.
Oh, true.
You're practicing.
You walk up there and they're like, damn, who's okay.
Right. She got some moves.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna be doing some splits, maybe popping some pussy, IDK.
Oh yeah, you got to.
Well, not at a topless bar, but at an all-nude one, yes.
Well, I mean, I pop pussy regardless, but it's like in my clothing.
Yeah. I feel like in strip clubs, do guys like want to see vaginas? Like, Vaginas kind of freak me out. I'm bisexual, but I'm still scared.
Oh yeah.
They want to do as much to that vagina as humanly possible. They want to feel it. They want to smell it. They want to touch it. Like they want to be up in that thing. Dudes, they're so gross.
You know how like people sniff flowers like at the grocery store, just go right in and is that how they're like sniffing pussy in the club?
I literally had an experience with that once. Like,
how did you not mention this?
I just now thought about it. Okay, well, he didn't really exactly like. So this was one of my regulars, right? And I was like giving it, like he would do this kind of a lot. He would never actually get to touch me. He would always try, but I like always had my hand down there. I was always holding myself, like I was making sure like to be like he couldn't touch it. But he would kind of get at the top of like my ass crack, right? And whenever I'd be like giving dances, and I like as soon as he would take his hand off, I would turn around and he just be smelling it, bro. I'm like, bro, you need to chill. Yeah. Like, that may be a fetish, but look, that's not. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Men.
Yeah, it was not pleasurable.
I mean, have you ever? I feel like the only people doing weird shit like that in the club is men. Have you ever seen a woman do anything like uncomfortable or just whack in the club?
Yeah. A lady tried to finger me before during a dance.
Do they think it's okay because, like, we're all women?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like, a guy paid for me to dance for her or whatever, and she was cool. She literally got dances from me, like, back to back. Like, she loved me. But she was trying to finger me in the process, and I'm just like, chill out. You know? Because, I mean, I don't even swing that way to begin with, so I'm just like, and regardless, stay away from my vagina, you know? But whenever I told the dude who paid for her initial dance, he was like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I wouldn't expect that from a woman. I was like, stay. I've danced for women before. No one's ever tried to like finger my vagina.
And there's one experience. There will be times where if a couple goes in, they will go in with the intentions of like, oh, this dancer's kind of wanting like, I don't know, but couples will go in there for like their own sexual pleasure.
Oh yeah.
And there was this time I was giving this girl a dance. I think I was just giving her a dance, but her husband was next to her, or boyfriend or whatever. You know, I go down, I'm rubbing my like titties, like, you know, kind of down there. And then I didn't notice it at first, and I was just kind of like, what's that scratchy feeling? And I look down, this bitch's dress is up and her whole pussy is out, bro. No underwear on, no nothing. I was just like, bro. I was like, that's nasty. And I'm like, now I gotta clean my whole fucking body. I'm like, I didn't even know that. Like, why do you do this? And then she's like, after the dance, she was like talking about like, oh, do you do any more? I was like, no. And then she just like, I was just like, let me get my money and let me just go. Yeah, I went in the back and I was like sanitizing myself. I was like, come on, bro. That shit, no.
That's gross. That is so unsanitary.
Bro, honestly.
For like all parties involved, like.
No one wins. Yeah.
That gross. Honestly, know who it is.
Yeah.
But most dancers, we tend to just avoid strippers. I mean, not strippers. We tend to avoid couples.
Yeah, I usually avoid women just because a lot of the women that go in there, they are either very judgmental or they're like, oh, you want my man. Girl, I want his money. I don't want your man.
No one cares about your man.
Like, I promise you, like, I'm going to look like I want him, but that's just how the dancer does it. So, like, it's all about the fantasy. It's about, like, that's really what it is. Like, I don't want your man. No. He's white. I don't want him.
Fair enough.
White men, literally the root of all evil.
And that's
I've made this argument. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, white men, older white men, they're easily the number one clientele at the strip club because they're accessible to any girl. Like they don't really have a preference. You might meet the one who do have a preference, but basically they like to swirl. They're into their own types. Like they don't be tripping. So that's the ones you go for. Like there's some groups that I cannot go to just because I'm a dark-skinned black woman and like I'm just not everyone's type. So if I see an old white guy, I'm headed in that direction versus like a black guy or an Indian guy. Because sometimes black guys don't even want black women in the strip club. Like you never know with them. Or an Indian guy, they typically don't like me.
Indian men usually like me,
Asian.
like a petite white girl, like no tits. Like that's what I've noticed is that's what they go for. So.
Yeah. And Asians, they typically like blondes for some reason. So I just avoid them as a whole because I'm like, I'm not nice. Your money's not that. It's not worth it. So, well, let me be more correct. The Asians were actually born in Asia. Because the American
I know the type.
Yeah, the American-born Asians, they're more versatile versus the ones who are born over there. They stick to what they like, and they like blonde white girls. Yeah.
Emily, you look so excited.
White guys are forever.
I know exactly what they're talking about. I studied abroad in Asia, and I went out clubbing in Singapore. And, like, I remember there was this one club where for some reason they weren't letting, and we didn't notice this until, like, much later. So we were in a cage, like, cage dancing, right? And we didn't realize that, like, the club had put a guard outside of the cage so that, like, no Asian women and, like, no men could come in. So it was just, like, my friend and I, like, these two white girls, like, dancing in a Singaporean club, like, not during the tourist season, and everyone just staring. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? It was really weird to be put on a pedestal, but I kind of liked it. So,
yeah, I feel it.
So Singapore is also like literally crazy rich Asian. So like there's just so much going on. But I had fun though.
Oh yeah. They say, is that the place where they say it's like it's a really nice trip and it's also cheap?
Definitely not cheap.
Oh, okay, then I think it's Bangkok.
Bangkok is cheap. Thailand, whack place. So
really?
So whack. Really, the whole continent of Asia, I just find so different. I always say Asia is whack, but not for like, you know, cultural things. It's like the little things. Like some countries don't have toilet paper, but like I don't want to. And like I'm cool with bidets, but I'm like I wouldn't drink that water either. I don't want to squirt it on my vagina or my butt. Weird place. Very clean though.
Fair enough. I don't think I'm going to Asia then. I'm like, I need to drink water.
Just bring them all. Oh, wait, no, because they'll be like.
No, yeah, you can't carry it.
That's so stupid.
Unless you put it in your suitcase. I don't know if they ever go through our stuff whenever we like put them on the plane. They do, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because it's easier for us to like put things in there than it is to carry them on, to like have them in a carry-on. So I always wonder if they like snoop through all our shit. But they saw a lot of sex toys from me one day, so that person's lucky, I guess, or unlucky.
So how has the pandemic affected you guys?
Ooh, it's definitely taken a toll.
Big time.
Yeah. Right now, I'm like, right now, I'm basically just surviving off of my sugar daddy. To be honest, like, and he's well aware of it, so he's just like, you know, being real generous and stuff. But yeah, it's either that or just trying to hustle and like get money in however I can. But for the most part.
Yeah, that's really the same with me though. Like, it just going from having a good amount of money a week to literally like basically going how I was back at my pizza delivery job, maybe even a little bit worse. It's like, this is weird. And it's like,
it's definitely an adjustment.
Yeah.
But we're surviving.
Yeah. I mean, luckily we were smart and we saved money rather than just spend it all on whatever we wanted. Like,
yeah.
Like it's being in the strip club, you have to know like with how easy it is to make money, it's 5 times easier to spend it. So you have to know like, all right, majority of the money you gotta save it.
Are you guys trying to transition to do more online work?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I first got into sex working to begin with, so I kind of always knew about it. And in a sense, yeah, I do it every now and then. Like, I'll hit up my husband, hey, you want to FaceTime or something? You know? Like, just, I don't know, just little ways to hustle or whatever. They'd be like, I want to see you, send me a pic. I'm like, all right, here's my menu. What would you like? That's literally how I'm like, that's how I'm hustling these days.
Yeah.
Do not text me if you do not want to spend money right now because I'm going to find a way to get money out of you.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've always been into online and stuff like that just because that's what I learned first. I was doing that for 2 years prior to me even dancing. So.
Okay, well, that's good. It's an easier transition in that case.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just the same with me. Like, I mean, I didn't really start off online, though, so it's definitely more of an adjustment for me, like, learning how it works, how to, like, word things, or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Emily, do you have any more questions?
No, I just like talking to them.
Like what?
How can I be you? Like that's it. But that's been this whole interview. So is there anything we could do for your YouTube channel or anything like that? I know y'all mentioned.
Yeah, what is your YouTube channel? So we can plug it to the podcast. Unless you don't want us to do that, we don't have to.
It's kind of hard to find because we
don't have a certain amount of subscribers yet, so they don't necessarily like expose us. So when you try to type in our name, you won't find us. You literally just have to go find it.
But we can send you the link.
Yeah, we can put it in the description so people.
Add that way.
Yeah, perfect. Well, yeah, if you guys are still listening, you should definitely find their YouTube. It sounds like you guys have a lot of interesting stories on there that we didn't have time for today, but I'm definitely going to go check it out after this. That sounds really exciting.
Yay!
And you guys can follow us on Twitter at CandyGirlPod or on Instagram at CandyGirlPodcast. And if you want to shoot us an email, you have any questions for us, you have any questions for Ebony and Ivory, you can send us an email at candygirlpodcast@outlook.com. Thanks for listening, you guys. We'll hear from you soon.